My dad has been married to Anne for 8 years now. I'm a teen female, and my stepsister, Anne's daughter, is 1 year younger. Anne's daughter is autistic, and she struggles a lot socially. For the most part, her issues stem from not knowing when she's being taken advantage of or bullied until it gets more serious, and then she has some horrible episodes that come from being treated that way. So when my dad first married Anne, they told me it was now my job to look out for her and be a good big sister, and they really put me to the test. They made me spend time with her at school, even though we were a grade apart, and I was used to having the time with my friends for lunch. Then they would make me supervise her if she wanted to play with kids in the neighborhood or park. She liked playing with younger kids until the global issue stopped that for a while. I'd have to follow her out all the time. I resent the role that I have to play in her life. I never wanted to be someone's keeper, which I don't enjoy. Several weeks ago, Dad and Anne announced we would attend this Christian summer camp and that Anne's daughter wanted to go. We're doing the day part, but there are day and sleepaway parts. Anne is very religious, and Dad became religious after he married Anne. When my mom was alive and married, he was an atheist. I'm like my mom and the old him that way. Anne has always been judgmental in my experience, and as someone with a trans best friend and friends who are not straight, I've seen the crap that Anne's church has said about LGBTQIA+ people. I also don't want to be stuck taking care of Anne's daughter for 6 weeks this summer. So I emailed the pastor over the camp and made it pretty clear where I stood on the issue, and that I would make sure that I talked about not believing in God and would openly discuss LGBTQIA+ issues throughout the camp. Seems like it worked, because Anne got a call the next day, and they said they could no longer accept me, as I'm not a member of their church. I was never baptized and have refused to be. It took about a week for her and my dad to figure out I had a part to play in it. They asked how I could be so selfish, and how I could abandon my sister like that she could end up being treated terribly there, and she'll have nobody looking out for her. I told them it was not my job to do that. It's been over a week now, and they're still angry, and the camp starts soonish, and they're only growing angrier the closer it gets. I expected it somewhat, but they really believed what I did was crappy. Dad said Mom would be ashamed of me, and I told him she'd be ashamed of him, trying to pawn off parenting onto me, and she would have never been okay with any of this. He told me I was being cruel. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You're not the parent, and it's not your role in life to do that. The fact you had to engineer a way out, rather than to be able to say, I'm not her parent, is what hurts most here. There's nothing wrong with them asking you to help them on occasion. This isn't that, though. They're making you be her babysitter, which isn't cool. Make it clear you are a kid and will not accept guardian responsibility. Also, stop hanging out with her at school, especially at lunch. You need to have time with your own friends. I'm used to it now. I remember having to cancel plans before because my dad and Anne were going someplace and hiring a babysitter. They didn't trust the sitter to watch Anne's daughter, so I had to cancel the plans I had established before my dad and Anne had theirs. Or my dad picked me up early from a friend's house because I needed to supervise Anne's daughter with kids. My dear, never get used to it. You're being used as a second parent, and that's not okay. I'm so sorry you're in this situation. If you can, talk to another family member or your school counselor. Also, as a last resort, you can report them to CPS. This sort of expected dependency will screw up your future come exam season, and that's totally unacceptable. On top of that, you didn't lie. You're not a church member and have no desire to participate in that camp or their beliefs. Yeah, the fact that they think their special needs daughter would be treated horribly at a Christian summer camp pretty much sums up my thoughts. Can they find an alternative day camp that she can go to for people with special needs? The poor stepsister has no fault, but it's OP's stepmother and father's job to find suitable accommodations and provide care. I hope OP can live independently ASAP. I've just proposed to my girlfriend of 1 year, Megan. She had a dust-up with my sister, Roseanne, and when I defended her, my sister went off on me and told me off. Megan is really into skincare. I can't even count the amount of skincare stuff she has, but she looks great, so she's doing something right. She has a morning routine and a bedtime routine. She says they aren't complicated to me, but I'm a guy. My skincare is washing my face in the shower and before bed if I remember. I can't follow what Megan does, but it makes her happy, so I support it. Megan has tried to bond with Roseanne over skincare, but it's not working. According to Megan and Roseanne, Roseanne's skincare is lots of sleep, water, sunscreen, and no smoking, tanning, or makeup, ever. Megan was a bit shocked when Roseanne said that. She said that's no routine at all. The no makeup, even at her wedding, also threw Megan for a loop, but it's more about the skin for her. I honestly never thought about it before I met Megan. For Roseanne's birthday, Megan and I gave her a gift card to a Sephora store because they have a bunch of skincare stuff. We found out it's still unused, almost a year later. Twice Megan has left or dropped off a bag or basket of skincare products with a list of steps, and they're just gathering dust in Roseanne's bathroom. When Megan saw the first bag unused when we were visiting Roseanne, she tried again and left some stuff for Roseanne. This led to Roseanne telling Megan to shut up about skincare and telling her off. I defended Megan because she was just trying to do something nice, and Roseanne was an idiot to her. Roseanne told me off too. Megan said the first couple of times she met Roseanne, she listened when Megan talked about skincare. Roseanne also bought Megan some of her favorite stuff after stalking her social media. Roseanne doesn't even have social media. Megan was trying to do something nice for Roseanne. Roseanne said Megan couldn't take a hint. Roseanne was also mad because Megan didn't talk to my dad, brother, brother-in-law, or either of my grandfathers about skincare. Just her, the only woman in my family. But they're like me, and Megan knows that. Roseanne won't even talk to Megan now. She told me off too, and Megan was just trying to do something nice. Roseanne is 38, and Megan says women can't afford to be lax about skincare as they age. This applies to Megan too, which is why she takes such good care of her skin. I want Roseanne to apologize for telling Megan off, but she says I'm dreaming, and my dad and brother are trying to get me to forget it. I'm 35, Megan's 34, and Roseanne is 38, if it makes any difference. You are the idiot. Your fiancé and hers alone. Megan should have taken the hint when she noticed the initial gift went unused, but nope, she doubled down and brought another unwanted gift for your sister, and then topped it off with a gift card to Sephora. Are you serious right now? Megan owes Rose a huge apology. For some reason, I feel like there's probably an MLM show going on, and my sister's tired of it. Sympathies to Roseanne. It must be hard to engage with someone who's decided your view is worthless because you don't follow a skincare routine. Megan owes your sister an apology and a change to her behavior, and you need to see clearly the type of person you're engaged to. I've, male 32, been with my girlfriend, 29, for over a year now. She's smart, funny, a bit quirky, and has a serious job with a good salary. We have a great time together and generally get along very well. The only thing is that our home decor choice is bizarre, to put it frankly, and not something you think a normal grown adult would be into. Her apartment is definitely a reflection of herself and her interest. Not in the best way, though. My girlfriend has a wall dedicated to animation in one room of her apartment, like Futurama pieces and etchings of some weird triangle guy. Then there's the wall of framed preserved insects in another room, but not insects like butterflies or moths. Instead, she displays tarantulas, beetles, and large stick insects. Her bathroom has a subtle theme of the ocean, pretty common, but instead of starfish or shells, she has a little anglerfish nightlight, a small vampiric squid painting, and then a framed diagram of what apparently is a goblin shark right by the toilet. A majority of her home decor and furnishings are okay. The apartment itself is very modern and sleek. It's just the random decor and juvenile-ish themes like cartoons, insects, and bizarre ocean creatures are off-putting. This is where I might be the idiot. I avoid bringing people over to her place, especially people from my job, because of how juvenile it looks. Everyone's impressed when they see the high-rise, but that quickly fades once you enter. The one time I brought a work colleague over, they ended up telling me after that they found her insect wall terrifying. I work in finance and appearances and first impressions are important. My office will hold casual gatherings where we get together for a few drinks and good food, and we rotate hosts. And this time it's my turn. The problem is my place is under some construction and not an ideal place to be right now. So I've been staying with my girlfriend. My girlfriend suggested that we host my colleagues here since she has the space and thinks it'll be fun. I told her I planned on skipping my rotation and seeing if the next person would be okay with hosting early. She kept pressing on why I didn't want them over here. And so I finally said it was because our home decor was strange and not something a grown woman would have. And also that her insect wall horrified the one colleague that did come over. My girlfriend got mad and said, at the end of the day, it's not my space, and these things bring her joy. She also said that she's indeed an adult woman, which is exactly why her apartment is decorated in such a manner. I love my girlfriend, I do, and it's okay to have different interests, but does an adult really need to decorate with them besides a few things here and there? I mean, my own mother asked if my girlfriend was autistic after she saw the entire apartment for the first time. So, am I the idiot for telling my girlfriend her home decor is why I won't host a work gathering at her place? Info: what age children usually have preserved tarantulas and vampire squids as home decor? I think those might be expensive decorations for children to afford. Also, Futurama wasn't a kid's show. She's not childish. You just don't like her. She deserves someone more interesting and interested in her rather than shallow appearances and finance. You are the idiot, so you don't like her interest. You don't have to be judgmental about it. Your one and only experience bringing someone over, they were terrified of the insect display. So this one person and your own distaste have convinced you that everyone would be terrified? You don't need to bring your work colleagues over, but if you yourself look down on your girlfriend because of her interest and how she chooses to decorate, maybe you shouldn't be with her. Honestly, OP sounds like the only childish one here. Personally, I'm not too fond of live creepy crawlies, but that's because I don't want them on me. Creepy crawly exhibits of live or dead ones where they're behind glass, endlessly fascinating. They're amazing creatures and deserve to be liked and loved. I just don't want them crawling next to my skin. Her apartment sounds amazing. I'd love to look around it and engage her in the conversation. Your girlfriend sounds cool. What's she doing with the finance bro? Having second thoughts? OP, if you are so embarrassed by her, why are you with her? Do you see yourself in her life with her in the future? Yeah, no, you don't really love her. If you did, you would rejoice in these fantastic examples of her quirkiness. She sounds great. Break up with her and let her find someone who will cherish her awesomeness, as you're too embarrassed by her passion. We hosted my brother, Aaron, 36 male, and his family for a week. He was in a city we live in for a work event and thought he could use the opportunity to catch up with us as a family. His family includes his wife, Amy, 35, and their sons, tween and pre-tween. My wife, Juliet, 34, and I, 32 female, live with our twins, pre-tween male and female, in a spacious house. So overall, we were thrilled to have them over. Our kids were also very excited to see their cousins. Juliet is a physician and is also very devoted to her profession. We have a room with several shelves in our house that we only use for reading. Juliet still keeps many of her old textbooks and new books, journals, etc. there and gives them a read every other day. She prefers paper copies of most books. She adores her books and takes excellent care of them. Our kids often join her for these reading sessions, as do I. They bring their homework, I bring my laptop, and Juliet opens a book and her laptop simultaneously. She leaves her books on the table sometimes. Even though we haven't told them not to, our kids never touch her books or my laptop. While Aaron's family was with us, I was surprised by how uncontrollable my nephews were. My brother and sister-in-law also never told them not to do something, which probably exacerbated the situation. On the last day they were with us, they went as far as using markers and drawing over some pictures in Juliet's books. She asked our nephews if they had done it, and they proudly announced that they had, and also asked if they had done a good job. Juliet was absolutely furious and disappointed, but didn't say anything other than, "Those aren't coloring books, and you shouldn't touch other people's belongings without asking first." She asked me to talk to my brother about this. I told Aaron about the incident and said it was clear his kids have no sense of discipline. He accused me of raising my kids like they were in the military and said that doing things like this was part of a normal childhood. The argument escalated from there and got very bad. We now still don't talk the way we used to. It has me thinking if we were overreacting. Am I the idiot? I may be wrong because they're kids and boys, and I may be exaggerating. Not the idiot. A 1, 2, or maybe a 3-year-old would use markers to color in adult books. Kids their age attend school and most certainly know better than to mark up adult books with a marker. I'm certain the school nor the parents allow them to destroy textbooks or their parents' books without any consequences. Therefore, given their ages, it seems highly probable that they deliberately destroyed your wife's books with full knowledge that it was wrong, either as a prank or because they don't like your wife, or because they've heard their parents saying negative things about her reading room or her books and thought their parents would think it was funny. In my opinion, there is zero chance that they didn't deliberately choose to destroy her books, knowing it was wrong, and your brother's teaching his kids to be no more accountable for their actions than he was willing to be. You're not overreacting. They damaged your property and face no consequences, and your brother tried to deflect away from it with the boys will be boys argument. If I were in your shoes, I probably wouldn't allow them back until it's addressed. You have no reason to believe that your possessions will be safe and respected when they're present. Absolutely, I wouldn't have dreamed of behaving this way at their age, and I had a very lax upbringing. The trouble is, once they grow up, they'll still be disrespectful gits, just not tiny and cute anymore. Just send your brother the bill for replacing all those books. Medical textbooks and journals cost a bomb. Once your brother realizes that his parenting style has real-world consequences for both himself and his brats, they're all going to learn a lesson in social etiquette. Put a lien on your brother for the cost till he repays it all.